Misery is what little Teddy feels when I'm not around, so little Teddy can't heal. Misery is what little Teddy feels. Is what little Teddy feels. These tears on little Teddy's face are for me. Little Teddy wishes that little Teddy could hold me, touch me, feel me. Little Teddy's heart is bleeding. Can't I see? Little Teddy wishes that I could hold little Teddy, touch little Teddy, feel little Teddy. Misery is what little Teddy feels when I'm not around, so little Teddy can't heal. Misery is what little Teddy feels. Is what little Teddy feels when I'm not around. Little Teddy's so miserable when I'm not around. It's like a miserable. I'm doing so hard for little Teddy. Ladies, look how moist I am for my future mother and my child. She might be like little Teddy. Little Teddy's past the biological clock, I think. I don't know. I have to ask her if she asks me first. If she proposes me to me first, you know. $1 US is worth 112,000 US of currency in Iran. That's a lot of dowry money for little Teddy's dowry. But the study question they found how to marry her. How much money do you have? I love you some stuff. I love you some 10 single bracelets. I want to tell you so much! I want to tell you so much! I want to tell you Paul and food blogs! We let you beat you, you're trying to reach your statue, read it! Little Teddy says, oh, thanks. Another one too, the pile. Another one bites the dust. I love me some 10 single bracelets. Feet, competitive, cheese, visitation, drool. Cringy, C-R-N-G-E-Y. Excellent. No! Eat my shorts! And my sitcom. This is so I can announce it was pronounced was correctly. Asterix, As long as I get my Deborah, there should be mandatory cultural exchange instead of mandatory military service for all the Middle Eastern countries like Israel and Arab countries like Dubai. The Middle Eastern should do candlelight vigil for all the humans who died from Middle Eastern countries' conflicts. Sharing food is love. We respect each other's language, religions, culture, traditions, and if someone wants to have marijuana or alcohol, it should be legal so I don't overdose and die. 60% of the time I face with little Teddy every time. What the world needs now is for little Teddy and a single friend or single family member of little Teddy to propose to me by direct messaging on Instagram. That is just the one thing of this world. It's still good love. If you USA gives genetic technology to make practical amounts of fresh water from salty water, you're ready to love Trump so much. You're ready to love Trump so much. You're ready to build a golf course for Trump instead of Iran, and a Disney World franchise for Trump instead of Iran too. Cynicism poisons the heart, never lose hope, my dear heart. Miracles dwelling invisible. Hashtag on Rumi. 260 days out of the year we have sunlight around. That's how renewable energy we export in the Middle East, ladies. I'll have Michael Jackson's having on the food menu. I'm Michael Jackson's saying it. Nobody really cares about the Middle East. We Middle Easterners care for peace and coexistence in the Middle East, for the Middle East, by the Middle East. In the name of democracy, the Charlie Chaplin movie. Let's unite. Parkour, peace out. Hearts with light of love, illuminate well, whether in mosque or synagogue they dwell, have their names written in the book of love, unvexed with hopes and or fears of hell. He beneath the bow, flask of dawn, command book of verse, me my kind of progeny, yellow, sister, silly, Italian, pandy, red, rock, wild, or wow. Karaoke in the wilderness is paradise now. I'll have about 10 segments of times having on the food menu. It's so moist, it's so moist. Tennis sounds like they're making a baby and giving birth to a baby all at the same time for 2 hour marathon sessions. Yes. These are vocal training exercises. If you also can announce it wasn't pronounced correctly, farm your relatives, time and space, especially my nephew and nieces, culture opens doors, politics closes doors. See, fook you, fook me. Twins, battle twins, nature's wins. Love is near to some game, yeah, fuckers. Now I'm going to Persian the word of the day. The Klebic water Trinity. Persian word of the day is environment. Mohit. Environment. 4 syllables. Mohit. 2 syllables. Persian word wins. More heat. More warmth. Mohit. Environment is warming up now, fellas. Gotta get. I need an old priest and a young priest. Power of Christ compels you. Power of Christ compels you. Going to vomit. Jutai! Jackie Chan, you go left, I go right. Okay, quick sucker. Rush out from forth, so amazing. I hope it comes out. Hashtag allergy, hashtag respect, hashtag wicked, hashtag birth, hashtag my wife. Show you this a new relation, no I to learn Persian language foundation, false piece of this is the same old old Buddha. This is a support non-governmental organization, non-profit organization, Project Foundation, PLF, EFL, Positive Yellow, the support Kenya, Jubaz, against the emoji, and good amount of book, like a flamingo, Virginia for the best. No matter culture and music, food, dance, and music, recorded water, Trinity. Iran's real crisis is environmental decay wrought by official neglect. That's what I'm talking about. That's some cultural news. As the world races to meet the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, Iran faces a bleak environmental outlook given the scale of its problems and authorities' record of shortcoming in policymaking. From vanishing water reserves and dried wetlands to fragile cities, failing infrastructure, and a fossil fuel-dependent economy, decades of reactive decisions have set the country on an unmistakable, unsustainable path. Iran now stands on the brink of water bankruptcy, a term describing when consumption far exceeds natural replenishment. Over-extraction from aquifers, unchecked dam building, inter-basin transfers, and ill-planned agricultural projects have left more than 500 plains suffering groundwater collapse and land subsidence. What experts call a silent earthquake. In some areas, land sinks by more than 20 centimeters a year. That's crazy. Hundreds of villages across central and eastern Iran now lack safe drinking water, triggering waves of climate-driven migration. The crisis no longer threatens only agriculture and food security, but the country's social stability and national security. No climate plan. Iran is among the world's most climate-vulnerable nations. Rising temperatures, shrinking snowfall, extended droughts, and intensifying dust storms reveal the scale of change. Yet the country still lacks a national adaptation plan. Limited engagement with the international scientific bodies, poor climate data, and a reactive policy mindset have weakened its ability to respond. While many countries invest in innovations like smart farming and early warning systems for floods and droughts, Tehran's measures remain short-term and unsustainable. Cities strained. In 5 decades, Iran has urbanized at one of the fastest rates globally, without the infrastructure or governance to match. Tehran, Mashhad, Isfahan, and Ahwaz now face toxic air, crumbling public services, decaying neighborhoods, and growing informal settlements. Municipal priorities lean toward costly showcase projects instead of building resilient, livable cities. As a result, Iran's urban quality of life indicators remain far below global averages, and its cities are increasingly vulnerable to earthquakes and floods. Self-destruction. Iran's economy remains tethered to the overuse of natural resources and fossil fuels, eroding efficiency and environmental security. Agriculture, despite contributing little to GDP, gross domestic product, consumes more than 90% of the nation's water, often to grow water-intensive crops like rice and pistachios in arid zones. Inefficient subsidies for energy and water encourage overconsumption, soil degradation, and aquifer depletion. Heavy reliance on oil and gas fuel pollution, and delays that shift towards a greener economy. Unlike many of its neighbors, Iran still lacks a binding strategy for renewable energy, a gap that risks locking the country into technological stagnation and environmental decline. Governance at the core. At its core, Iran's crisis stems less from a lack of natural resources than from weak governance and fragmented decision-making. Years of unscientific, short-term policymaking and exclusion of civil and experts institutions from decision processes have eroded the capacity for sustainable development. Centralized, project-based management continues to dominate where transparency, public participation, and local knowledge could drive meaningful solutions. Sustainable development is no longer optional. It is vital to Iran's survival. Can I get an amen? Amen. Hercules, shikina. Continuing the current course, from vanishing wetlands and land subsidence to air pollution and climate migration, will erode the country's ecological and human foundations. Reversing course will demand a new development model, one built on sustainable water management, restored aquifers, reformed crop patterns, national climate adaptation, urban renewal, and investment in clean energy. Yet these are tall orders, and they appear far down the list of priorities for rulers consumed by political rather than ecological survival. That is so boring. That's so boring. Can I get a break? Can I get a fuka break? Can a fuka get a fucking break? Meow frère. Ha ha ha, en français. Ah, dang it! Strike one, I got myself again. This is very serious. Okay, what else? That's the new stuff. That's how I stay touch with my relatives, saving my time and space with these. Excuse me, that's what I say. Thank you, I'm burping. I stay in touch with my relatives, saving my time and space with these enunciation and pronunciation vocal training exercise at VOCL. And I'm going to do golden oldie bootlegs. That's how fast I do my bootlegs. You blink, you miss a bootlegs. That's how good it is. Karaoke doesn't. Here I go. I'm like a flamingo bird. I want to fly away back to Iran. All I want is a shrimp in Iran, but farmed so it doesn't have toxins and pesticides and heavy metals. I'm so hairy. Oh, la. You're a wizard, Harry. Really? I don't think there's a reason I'm so hairy. Strike two! It was worth it! I can't resist a good hairy joke. I know the summer day has come and gone away. I went to Paris and Rome, but I want to go home in Iran. No place like home if I was Iran. Like Wizard of Oz movie, also like extraterrestrial movie, E.T. movie. I have to compare my body to the Persian wolf, how to chew pond, bodybuilder. He has an 8-pack out of blue belly. He doesn't have my man hair though. Man hair is soft and silk, way more than my daughter to some powder, some boots of Broadway powder. No way, powder. Ah, come on! Is that a 4-pack? I'm going to count that as a 4-pack. I ate some whey powder like 5 minutes ago. And I broke my intermittent fasting. I was Sufi Muslim, like Turkish Sufi Muslims, like Rumi. First and foremost, I'm vegan. I do no harm to any sentient animal life form. Mom said, "You're vegan." She smacks in the back of my head. She says, "You're going to eat veal. That's a vegetable for us." Like if I remember anything from. My man who looks like a mantrafish. Fin, head, tail, going down, half tail, but I feel part of me. You're running too fast, too furious. E.T. want to go home, yeah, fellas. E.T. want to go home. You know where home is? Home's not a place. Home is your relatives are. Why am I talking like this? I know why. Because I want my mother, future mother, my child to know that I'm very empathetic and sympathetic. Okay, I gotta Google how to say those words. That didn't sound right. Empathetic. Ah. Hippopotamus? This game is rigged! Big Daddy. Yeah, what else? Persian Wolf won Mr. Olympia medal, and Arnold Schwarzenegger told him, "Look at this monster, get to the chopper, it's not a tumor, unless it's a tumor, in which case we're going to F that cancer up, whether it's breast cancer, ovarian cancer, prostate cancer. We're going to F that cancer up. F cancer, my fellas. Cancer is a dirty word. Fog is not. It's like, we let it go further than Frozen. Fog it all. We let it go further than Frozen with Frisbee golf. It's like fog and rain. Daycare prostitutes trying to recommend just again. Fuck cancer. Fuck cancer hard. No mercy for cancer. We're not just going to cure cancer. We're going to fuck cancer up so they don't even think about coming back. That's what I'm talking about, me fellas. Fuck Cancer is a good non-profit organization. It's good that it's non-governmental. Cancer.ca is governmental to the Canadian government. It's a Canadian Cancer Society. I like to have a non-governmental organization for cancer research. fcancer.com, you know. fcancer.org. I think it's org. I hope it's org. If it's com, I don't know where it is. I'm confused. I don't know which cancer society to contribute to. I don't have money. I do raise awareness for them. I can't. Does it look like money? Trick 2! I got myself again! I got 3/3 trigger. I can't forget. I lost count of how many tricks I lost. The point is, it can't be good. You fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me thrice. The point is, you can't fool me again. Okay. In 2005, grade 10 of high school, I jumped over that 1 meter high with 120 pounds. I got lumbar herniation. That was stupid. In 2007, grade 12 of high school, I got most valuable player for volleyball, but I couldn't jump. I couldn't lunge. And it was stupid of me to keep worsening it. I thought it was no pain, no gain. I thought it was just muscle. It just felt like there was like a thorn in my belly, you know? And when I lunged, and I had my weight, just gave way and I fell to the ground. That's how bad it hurt. I thought it was like some kind of a needle that I might have, from a fish that I might have ate or something, you know? It was terrible pain. It was so bad that when I sneezed, it hurt. Whatever. I worked with my physiotherapy exercises, so now it's a lot more fluid. Ladies. I have to sit down and tie my shoes. Other than that, I'm all limber, motherfuckers. Stupidity doing saying go around for adults. That's how I'm against the law in Australia. Bans community 16 innovation community, social media, landscape media, on TikTok. Instagram media on TikTok. Let's come on, use the world more popcorn. Instead of doing streamline or sports. So I'm giving the links to safety nets to catch them because they're accountable to parents, grandparents, uncles, aunties, cousins, the whole shebang. I'm crazy and I like it. Look. Shakira. Ain't nobody telling Shakira could dance like that. She makes you want to learn how to speak Spanish, and so on and so on. This head looks like girls again. Damn, Scott Johnson looks like girls again. Damn, Gagga looks like girls again. This head looks like Scott Johnson. Gagga. And that's got one share party. Ooh, party of that. Ooh, party here. This is crazy. He's my dust mash. They're going to see maybe Instagram and all other food tasters try to chase me, but here's my dust mash. They're going to see maybe Instagram. I'm bringing food tasting back into a blog. Yeah, the mother food tasters don't know how to blog. Yeah, this is parody OD. Too much to taste on the scammer. He tastes the other. So much to taste the hangover taster. Ooh, let me call me on say popcorn. That's how I taste my food. It's an ode to land, the rocks very film. Me the other inside neck, helps you like a neck, the inside neck, helps you like a Persian spark. I show him to Shiraz, he has quiche there. Take your mouth and close off, sing close off, take your mouth and close off, sing close off, skin, and it's me a fucking club, it's skin, and it's me a fucking club, brum bum bum, take close up, 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 get naked, no. I like big fat goat butts and I can't lie. You let me a first time ghost can't deny. I go around the park your face down in your face, you get sprung, it's getting hot in here, so hot, I'm taking off all my clothes. I am getting so hot, I'm gonna take my clothes off and shower. Fisherman shower would like to play racket sports or foosball, although she's all stand no substance, hips and shoulders, that's all the work. Especially for birthing my giant head, I don't have twin babies. After I have settled children with my future mom and child, I'm going to divorce her according to our prenuptial agreement and temporary marriage contract. At the end of the temporary marriage contract, it's going to say hashtag there are no goodbyes in love. Hashtag Hafez, H-A-F-E-Z. Baby, you and me, saint, nothing but Doki Stock at Flamingo, so let's find out my discovery channels on YouTube. I want to fly like a flamingo to the clean shrimp farms that are farmed by humans. Fly like a pink flamingo. I love Michael Jackson sound having the film menu. I love my Taylor singing with the sound having the film menu. Michael Jackson sounds to say, and nobody really cares about Middle East. We ministers care for peace and coexistence in the Middle East, for the Middle East, by the Middle East, in the democracy. Like Charlie Chaplin, Middle East Unite, parkour, peace out. Hashtag faith, unity, diversity, faith over fear. Hashtag I don't know, these will blind me. Hashtag we're all born innocent. Parkour, peace out.